one of our loyal listeners, I think it was Temper the other day, asked for updates on the two deep. So today we're doing offense. Friday we'll do defense. Sound good? So that's what we're looking at. Let's see here. Starting off with, why not quarterback? Oh, don't forget, we got Jaden Jackson committing on Thursday at 5 p.m. So whichever way that goes, if he chooses the Buckeyes, I will be doing a breaking news segment. So keep it locked here. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good shit. But so let's talk this offense too deep. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you how I see it and how I think things are gonna play out. Quarterback, Kyle McCord. I know. See, this is where I get into a little bit of a pickle, and I don't like being inside of pickles. It's kind of smelly. But anyway, I'm not saying Devin Brown sucks. Some people can look at it as they see it just black and white. All right. I am taking Kyle as my starter. So neither one of them won the job in spring. I know Devin got hurt, late in spring practice and didn't take any reps in the spring game. But McCord seemed to have a slight edge in consistency anyways. And when you talk about all these positions across the board on both sides of the ball, consistency is what every freaking position coach looks for. They got to have that. If you're performing at a high level, but it's not consistent, you're not doing a team any fucking good, because you don't know when you're going to get that peak level performance. So it's got to be consistent. And I know the gap's not super wide between these two quarterbacks, but there's no timetable to name a starter. Personally, I think you got to name one 2 weeks prior to the season. So if we're looking at the calendar right now, September 2nd, that's a Saturday. That's week 1. So by 2 weeks prior, I say August 19th, you got to be naming a quarterback after that practice on August 19th. You got to have it in stone, in concrete. So don't forget, CJ Stroud was named on August 21st in 2021. So there's kind of a track record there with Ryan Day. So that's why I say you got to name him, 2 weeks out. So you got to have the offense time to get all the reps with the ones with Kyle as the quarterback. So you got to have at least 2 weeks of that, and especially game prep, the week of. So running back, Travion's my starter. His ceiling is a little higher than Mayan. Mayan's a stud. I'm not denying that. Again, this is not a black and white thing. By the way, I have a plumber coming at 5 o'clock today. Yeah, I got bad pipes, you might say. Besides that, so I may have to bolt out of here a few minutes early. Apologies, but pipes come first, right? That's what she said. Hey-o. So Mayan, Travion, starter, Mayan, the backup. But you're going to get a solid dose of Mayan in every game. And especially with a first-year starting quarterback, a retooled O-line where you had to replace 3 guys, and you got a solid stable of running backs. I think you're going to see an early lean on the rushing attack in 2023, first few weeks at least. So good luck to Tony Alford keeping all these guys on campus, by the way. You got 5 backs. So I know they'll all get snaps running the ball, but we'll see. A healthy Mayan or Travion is not going to get jumped over by the other running backs, though. I know they want to work in Evan Pryor. He's fully cleared after his surgery, ACL from last year, but and Henderson's fully cleared as well. So I see a big bounce back here for Travion. Let's talk receivers. We got a lot of dudes here. So my starters, this is pretty much obvious. Marv, Emeka, and Julian. Those are my three starters across the board. Not a big change from last year at all. Backups now. So this is where things get a little dicey. Carnell Tate, I got the true freshman in there, backing up Marv. X-Man coming behind Emeka, and Jaden Ballard behind Fleming. This is obviously the deepest, most talented wide receiver core in the country. No questions about it. And I think this is there's a clear two deep coming out of spring with Tate taking a leap over the second-year players. And then you got Ennis came in May. So a little earlier than the typical summertime guys that usually don't get here till June. The big question though is, will Hartline run a deeper rotation this year? 4, 5, 6 guys. I don't see him doing 6. I don't even know if I see him doing 5. I'm talking a normal rotation, not just filling in because a guy just ran a go route and needs a break. I'm talking like a true rotation, where guys are sharing reps. I don't see that happening, but the backups will get some snaps for sure. So that's what I got. O-line starting in the middle. I'll start with the guards. These guys are set in stone. Donovan Jackson, Matthew Jones, pretty easy there. Enoch Vamahi in his 5th year. Tegra Shabola moving from tackle down to guard, his natural position. So they're trying to develop some depth at this position. So the starters are solidified, but we'll see how the backups work in. Enoch, I have no problem with. We'll see if Tegra is going to work in and provide some good quality depth there. Center, Carson Hinsman is my starter just because he ran the entire spring with the ones. Jacob James, we thought was going to be the guy, but he was dealing with a shoulder surgery in spring, so never got to compete for that job. He's in his 4th year. So Hinsman, he's just a 2nd-year guy. Remember that. He appears to have the leg up on Vic Cutler. Cutler needed the summer conditioning and training to get up to speed with, big time college ball. So we'll see. I think they're probably going to reopen that competition with Jacob James back in the mix. So I could see that happening here at the beginning of fall camp. But again, this is another one of those positions like the quarterback, he's making the calls to the O-line. You got to have a guy in place 2 weeks prior to the first game. I feel the same as the quarterback position. Tackle, Josh Fryer, seems like this is a no-brainer. He ran with the ones entirely. Nobody else even was mentioned by the coaching staff to run with the ones or showed signs, took snaps at all. So I got Josh Fryer at my left. Now this one's tricky, the right tackle, because you got Josh Simmons coming in. And we've talked a lot about Josh Simmons, played 12, 13 games at San Diego State, played in every game, went to the portal, got him. And so I don't think this position is settled at all. I'm going with I'm going to go with Simmons and Michalski. We'll see who wins that battle. Zen's been competing with Tegra in the spring for that right tackle job. So we'll see who wins out on that. Fitzpatrick, I got George Fitzpatrick at my backup left. So whoever loses the Simmons versus Michalski battle for right tackle, that guy, obviously the loser takes second place and the backup. So again, you need to have that O-line solidified as early as possible in camp. Earlier the better. Those guys take a long time to work as a cohesive unit. You gotta give them as much time as possible to develop together, and it's good to have 2 starting guards with a ton of snaps, ton of experience with Donovan and Matthew Jones. So that helps somewhat, but you can't just rely on those 2 guys, so last position, tight end. Obviously your starters, Cade Stover returning, probably his last year. I got Joe Royer at the backup. And he would have been, he's kind of a year behind right now. And he had injury, had an illness last year that took out like half of his season. His mom died in October, I believe, something like that. And he had a really rough year last year. He was expected. I remember last spring, he was supposed to, be the next guy up. That just couldn't happen and didn't happen. So, and with the Buckeyes this year leaning heavily on a rushing attack, the tight ends are going to be huge. Ryan Day loves to run that 12 personnel, running the ball between the tackles, getting the tight ends involved. So they're going to be a major part of the plan. And you need 2 starters, really, when it comes down to it. I got my 3rd tight end, G. Scott. He'll be backing up both Cade and Royer. Then I don't know. Sam Hart, Bennett Christian. I haven't seen anything from these guys at all to make me think that they deserve a start. So, or deserve to be in the 2 deep. So I'm going with the freshman, Jelani Thurman. I think he could get some snaps. He's a freaky big target. You could use him in the red zone, or short yardage, compact area. Just throw it up and let him go get it, man. So I got G. Scott and Jelani Thurman as my backup tight ends. So those guys will get plenty of playing time too. As long as Thurman is showing he's a willing blocker, and they say he's been working on that, that's going to be key. So Coach Keenan Bailey, his first year at a position coach. So working with the tight ends, it's going to be his job to get Jelani up to speed as a blocker. So let's check out the chat. What's going on in here? What's up, everybody? All right, we got Temper in here. What's up? What's up? Billy, what's up? How you doing? Billy, I assume you're talking quarterback. Billy says, I think Day already knows who's starting. That's very possible. Jeremiah's in here bringing the positivity. I love it. And the all caps. He says, Buckeye Nation, we all rule the Big Ten East. We run this until we say so. Let's go Buckeyes. Yep, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, so what do you guys think at any of these breakdowns? What do you think wide receiver depth? You think Tate is going to crack that 2 deep? I got him in there, but, not just because he's a young guy, but he had got a lot of reps with the ones, in spring. So, and he looked good too. So, and then where does Ennis even factor into this 2 deep at all? That's another question. So what do you guys think? Wide receiver depth? You think anybody, you think Ballard maybe steals some reps from Julian Fleming? They say Ballard has the best hands on the team in the wide receiver room. You got the X-Man, Xavier Johnson. He's proved to be a weapon out of the backfield and at the slot. So, Tipper, you agree with everything I said? Wow. Write it down, folks. I'm just kidding. Drink of water. I'm really going to be interested to see this right tackle position. I'm kind of leaning towards Josh Simmons at that tackle job. What's up, PC? What's up? What's up? Where's Antwi? I don't know. Holding the towel, probably. I don't have a lot of faith in those second-year wide receivers. Kojo. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't seen enough out of them. Keon Grays. So, but, oh, we got a new guy. Yakov 22. What's up, man? Appreciate you joining us for the first time. I'm happy you found us. I'll run for PC's sake and for Yakov too. Yakov too, 22. I'll run back through the lineup again real quick. You guys can chime in. So this is my 2 deep. starting at quarterback, Kyle McCord. Backup, Devin Brown. I gave a lot more detail early on. It was amazing. You guys missed it. Anyway, running back, starter Travion. Backup, Mayan. Wide receiver, starters, Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Egbuka, Julian Fleming. Backups, Carnell Tate, Xavier Johnson, Jaden Ballard. O-line, starting at guards, Donovan Jackson, Matthew Jones. Backups, Enoch Vamahi, Tiger Shabola. Center, starter, Carson Hinsman, starter. Backup, Jacob James. Tackle, starters, Josh Fryer, and then I got a Josh Simmons / Zen Mahalski battle at the right tackle. Fryer at the left, obviously. And then backup would be whoever loses that right tackle job, and left tackle backup would be George Fitzpatrick. Last position, tight end, I got for the starter, Cade Stover, Joe Royer, the backup. And when we go to 12 personnel, you're going to see a lot more Joe Royer in there. But then my backup tight ends, G. Scott Jr. and Jelani Thurman, the freshman. So what do you think? Yeah, PC, I'm kind of with you. I think I'm going to lean Simmons just because Zen Mahalski did not win that battle outright against Tegra. And Tegra is not a natural tackle. He's a natural guard. He's going to figure into that guard too deep. So I think Zen not winning that battle puts him in kind of in the back seat, maybe. We'll see. I want to see the battle. You know, I want to see how they progress through this fall, but I'm really interested to see who wins that right tackle job. Yeah. Appreciate you, Yakov. He says that sounds like a solid 2 deep. Well, Yakov, let me give you a quick gist of this show. We go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday nights at 8. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I call the Buckeye Rush Hour, goes from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Oh, by the way, I might have a plumber coming today, so I may have to bolt a couple minutes early. If you hear a pounding on the door, that means plumber guy's here. Anyways, you guys don't need to know that. Well, you might anyway. So yeah, Yakov, back to my point. So on the Buckeye Rush Hour, 4:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I lay out a topic. Then I look for you guys to hit me with questions, comments, whatever, and I'll read them here on air and hopefully get some good feedback. We usually have a slew of regulars that pop in, like Billy, Temper, PC, all my guys here. Travis just popped in. I see him. So appreciate you joining in, Yakov. I.O. Travis. Temper says Tegra should be guard. Yeah. PC says whoever shows out against our DNs in practice should get the OT, the offensive tackle jobs. I agree 100%, man. No kidding. If you can shut down Jack and JT, you freaking earned it. Talk about iron sharpening iron. Jeez. But all right, appreciate you, PC. Your 2 deep is about as solid as it's going to get as of today. Appreciate it. Travis at Kings Island, but wanted to drop in to show love. Appreciate it, Travis. I haven't been there in freaking decades, man. Jesus. I bet you I was there when I was like 12 years old at the latest, maybe earlier. Yeah, Billy, that's a great point. But I want to say thank you, Travis, to popping in and showing the love. We always appreciate you. Billy, I think we will learn a lot. I think we're going to be impressed with Justin Fry this year. He's got, a lot of development to do. He's recruiting well. We'll see if he gets Brandon Baker or Gerby Lambert in this class, but recruiting well, focused on the Ohio guys early, but most of the Ohio guys are kind of developmental projects. They're not going to be ready in a year, maybe 2. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Justin Fry's development plan and how quickly these guys take to it. Yakov says, hope to be here again. I've watched some of your videos before. This is first live one. Well, we appreciate it. Yep. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Sunday night show at 8 p.m. I have Jeff and Sean join me as co-hosts. That one gets a little bit lively, a little squirrely. Everybody's been drinking a little bit. So Sean's usually a little high, but he was really high last week. He sounded like mumble mouth, but that was hilarious. But yeah, Sunday nights are awesome. And we get into some heavy debates Sunday night typically, so a little lively. PC, what is the difference in body type skill sets between guard and tackle? Well, tackles are going to be longer limbed, long arms, long legs, 6'5" and above. I'd say 6'5" is your basement as your height, and you can't be flabby. You got to be a taller, lengthier guy. Obviously you're going to have some extra weight on you, but 300 pounds is the bare minimum. Not very often you can see somebody like Dewan out there like 6'9", pushing 400 bills. He said he was under 400 last year, but a lot of people were very skeptical of that. So as far as the guards go, you're talking closer to the ball. You want a little shorter, squattier, but powerful. You want that power, because the reason you want lengthier guys on the edges is because you think about how a defensive end attacks tackles. They come at your sides, whether it's inside or outside. So you got to have those arms, and you want to get a punch on them as soon as the ball is snapped. You want to get a punch on that D end. Keep him at a distance, lock him up with your arms extended. Guards, like I said, shorter, squattier, but powerful. Think of Donovan Jackson. He's a good thing, but I would say 6'3" is your minimum there. You really, at Ohio State, you're not going to see somebody shorter than that. And you want dudes that are powerful, especially in the run game, because that's going to be typically the attack point for your running back. So they got to move dudes and get low. So hopefully that helps you. Same with the center, shorter but powerful. In the chat here, PC says, been a long time for Kings Island, but Cedar Point was always better, I thought. Yeah, no kidding. No doubt. PC says, I remember 2 years ago, Team Up North quarterbacks kept throwing into the backs of the helmets of O-linemen. Yeah, I know. You got to create throwing lanes when you got a short quarterback back there, and you have to do that by moving guys. Imagine if he said we just suck. What? Yakov says there are very few people on planet Earth with an O-line build and with good athleticism. That's a great point. That's why they're so rare, and that's why you recruit the shit out of them. It is hard to find dudes 6'5" and above, over 300 pounds that are athletic. Yeah. There's a lot of dudes 6'5" and above, over 300 pounds, but they can't walk from here to there without tripping, So good point, Yakov. What else? Jeremiah, you heard of creamed corn? Opening day, Ohio State will be serving up creamed Hoosiers. Let's go Buckeyes. I love it. PC says, thanks for the explanation, Joe. You're welcome. Always here to oblige. Who got pushed around? Temper says they got pushed around. Curious who you're talking about there. I've got a couple more minutes here. We'll go till the plumber shows up. How about that? Yeah, good point, Yakov. Very few people with that kind of athleticism. It's hard to find short guys with good athleticism, but yeah. What else? You guys, I used to go up to Cedar Point all the time. I lived in Tiffin, grew up in Tiffin, and it's only like an hour, maybe less than that, depending on how fast you drive, maybe 40 minutes to Sandusky. Used to drive up there all the time. I had a friend that worked there. Those people freaking party, man. They got like dorms for the workers there. At least they used to back in the 90s. They had dorms where all the workers lived, unless you lived in the city, in Sandusky, you lived in these like basically college dorms, and they partied their asses off. Geez, these people, it was nuts after the parks closed. Wow. I got a little sideways there. Temper says our O-line been bad 3 years now. Bad for 3 years? I don't know about bad. I think Paris Johnson Jr. was just fine. Dewan, here and there. I think Donovan Jackson's good. Matt Jones has been solid, a 2-year starter. So I wouldn't say bad. I disagree with that. Full-blooded Buckeye. What's up, man? He says, what recruit class is Orlando Pace Jr. in? I believe he is a 2025 guy. Tight end, by the way. Not a no lineman. Actually, his name's Landon Pace. Yeah, tight end. PC says, I thought I saw an Ohio kid O-line who didn't get an offer from us, top 10. Top 10 in the country or top 10 in the state? And what class? 2023, 2024? Need a little elaboration. Keep going here. Yakov says that many guys that size that can bench 500 pounds but have a 10-inch vertical leap and a 5'6" 40 time. Yep, exactly. That's my point. Yep. Thank you, Yakov. You illustrated it perfectly. Jeremiah is one huge party at Cedar Point. It is. It's nuts. Love it. PC by position 2024. Appreciate you, full-blooded Buckeye. PC says O-line wasn't bad at all. Yeah, I didn't think so. I will listen to the argument that the running game suffered, but that was due to injuries because we're rolling through like 5 freaking running backs. That was not because of the O-line. I just read today that speaking of recruiting in Ohio, Brian Robinson from Youngstown Fitch was kicked out of school, allegedly. He's the guy that hasn't gotten an Ohio State offer yet, 2024 guy, and came to a camp back in June, spoke to Ryan Day, and apparently this kid's dad is a big pain in the ass. So this kid's dad is telling him that he needs to work out. I mean, he should not have to work out to get an Ohio State offer. And Larry Johnson, Ryan Day said, no, you're going to work out before you get the offer. This is standard operating procedure for all positions at Ohio State. They're not just going to give you an offer because, you're a freaky athlete, 6'5", 235 or something. Great. But you're not just going to get an offer because you're from Ohio. You got to freaking work out, come to a camp or whatever, maybe do a private workout or something. But this kid's dad apparently is a major pain in the ass for the high school that he plays played for and with his recruitment. So Brian Robinson, I don't look for him to get a Buckeye offer ever. So sucks for him because he's a big dude. But anyway, looks like the plumber is on the way. So I'm going to have to bolt. I usually cut this off at 5 anyways. I gave you 4 extra minutes. You're welcome. PC, when you find that name of the dude you're looking for, hit me in the chat or in the comments, and I'll get back to you. But appreciate you guys all, as always. Yak Off, thanks for joining us, and thank you to all the usual guys, Temper, Jeremiah, Full-Blooded Buckeye, and Billy. Can't forget Billy. Travis, enjoy the Kings Island trip, and appreciate you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.